I know that in our prior segment you had told us a little bit about some of the tube equipment that you had learned on originally in electronics school, and that also that had then kind of propagated your initial interest in creating a cabinet emulator and a guitar simulator, if you will, that enabled people to get great sounds, and that is the genesis of Tech 21 in its original infancy as a company. You have some samples here that you wanted to show us.
Yeah, I'll find the chassis. This is the original SanSamp chassis, and I made 2 of these, and one I gave to Mick Jones from Foreigner. And hopefully he still has it.
He still has it, I'm sure, in his own personal collection.
Yeah, this one, I took it apart because I needed the circuit for something else, but that was the first manifestation of that product. And I have the first manifestation of the GT2. You can see that actually the graphics are different
than the actual production model, correct?
This was a later one.
Now, what was the actual, the GT2 at that stage was necessary because you had some other user requests from the original model?
Well, this one gave the user an easier access to sounds. You know, it's easier to switch. It's less variety, so it's easier to figure out what's going on.
I see.
You can change the amp style, like from California to British to Tweed. Then you can modify it to hot wire it, or high gain, or just clean. Then you can change the speaker setting, you know, how the speaker is mic'd up. But it's a little bit more easier to understand for somebody who's maybe not as trained as an electronic person than this one, you know, with the dip switches and all those nuances.
Now, the original design of the original design of the SanSamp, had you already envisioned that it would have dip switches, or did that come later on after you designed that product?
That came later on. Actually, the way it came about is that the prototype had the dip switch, because I was trying to figure out which setting I'm going to keep.
Yes.
And then Mick saw it also, and he says, like, why don't you just leave it on, you know?
Right.
And it was a little bit of a small switches, and that's the main complaint we always got about it. It's very small to switch, but you can use your pick, and it's a lot of switches, you know, that if you make it full size, then it doesn't fit in the product. It fits hardly.
And the product can't be actually a stomp box style pedal that's very compact.
Right. So basically, it's almost like maybe like a painter does that, or sometimes even filmmakers, is that just roll the tape.
Yeah.
And whatever happens, you know, and the good things we keep, the bad things we just throw out. And it was a good thing, you know, that the switch, so I kept it. But I like to keep an open mind, and I think that's one thing is great about the company as it is now, that it's really my company. Correct. We don't have those board meetings that we have to decide that what we have to build to please the market. Yes. It's basically, you know, I can turn on a dime and say, like, let's do it this way, let's do it that way, and hopefully that works, you know.
That's great.
So I have the artistic freedom, so to speak, to create products.
And to be able to continue the innovation that was the original concept of creating the SanSamp.
Because there were many opportunities, obviously, to take a different direction.
Yeah.
And Greg Mackey is a good friend of mine, and almost could call him a mentor. Many times I asked him advice, you know, what would you do here, or how would you do this? And he always said, you know, you have it right. You know, like, this is the right way to do it, because he went the other way. We started at about the same time with Greg, and he built the first mixer about the same time as I built my product, and we always talked. And he just built this huge company, you know, and he made a lot of money, but at the same time got a lot of headaches also. Sure. And he's out of it now, you know, and he's getting back into it because he just loves the business. He loves electronics. And he said, you did it right, because you just kept it at a manageable size. Correct. That you know what's going on, and you can do what you want to do. And, you know, money is not everything.
That's right.
So he's creating some cool new products, as I heard. And, you know, I wish him luck, but I do want to keep it this way, because I think it's especially now with this new environment we have with most products made in China, you have an environment that you have to produce those goods really quickly, very cheaply, and you just follow the market. And I don't want to do that. I want to follow my heart, not the market. You know, like what I think is a good product, or my friends or people I trust, and they say, like, you know, you should do something like this. That's what I want to do. And if we fail, that's fine. Then we'll do something else. But to have the creative freedom, instead of have a board telling you that we need to create a distortion pedal that you call heavy metal mania.
Yeah.
because our market research shows that that's what would sell.
That's the tail wagging the dog.
Yeah, I'm not for that, and hopefully we can, you know, keep doing it this way.